look at if we want to improve our health.
14, is it?
14. Okay, and 15. Yeah, next one, 16. Okay, 17. And up there. Okay, next one. And the last one. This number 20 is very important, and it comes up virtually with everyone. This is high frequency radiation from either from mobile phone masts or from wireless broadband masts, or also from the mobile phone unit or the wireless units in the houses. This does not detect whether it's from a mast that comes from outside the house into the house, but we have that problem usually in 80 or 90% of the houses, that they are within reach of a mobile phone mast, and the high frequency energy of these masts is entering through the walls and affects our body. No matter if we totally clear our house inside from any appliances, still if we are in reach of a mobile phone mast, it can be even 15 kilometers away from your house, and it still affects it.
So basically, if you have a mobile phone that functions in an area, you are being exposed.
That's right, yeah.
So that most of the developed world and the emerging world economies as well will all be exposed.
Yeah, unless we live in a cop house, for example, like a house which is made of clay, which seems to absorb the radiation. Any kind of stone, concrete or wooden houses, unfortunately, cannot really absorb this radiation, so we're exposed by it. And the only solutions there are two solutions. Either we can create a Faraday cage in the house using wallpaper with metal in it to create that Faraday cage. I consider that is not so healthy because it also blocks out the positive electromagnetic waves that are naturally coming from the sun, from the weather. I use an active resonance circuit, which is a device that basically is stimulated by the incoming electromagnetic waves, and it sends out a wave time-lapse, so it is deleting the negative information in the electromagnetic waves and creates a biological shield in the house. And on my website I have some products related to that.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So just to recap, so we've checked geopathic stress, and obviously because I'm sleeping on the natural energy shield, my geopathic stress levels are non-existent.
Basically, you're not exposed to any geopathic stress, which is unusual. So that's definitely due to the Veda energy shields.
And then we're looking at, obviously I work in a job. I work in an office. I work with a computer. I have a mobile phone. I do business. I'm a normal sort of businessman. I'm exposed to EMF constantly.
Yeah.
I know we have our rally safe for neutralizing EMF, so I'm confident that we've reduced the impact. But as we can see, everybody at this level here, virtually everybody, because of exposure to masts in the area, once you have a signal, your health has been affected. So it's very difficult to reduce the impact at that level.
Yeah, there are also devices for these high frequency radiations that work probably very similar than your little RadiSafe product. I'm not exactly familiar how it works, but anyway, they work with microcrystals that get into resonance with the incoming negative disturbing vibrations, and they send out harmonizing waves to create a biological shield in the house and to change the biological impact of the radiation. And I have very good results with these.
Okay, well that's great. Thank you for taking the time to do the test. I mean, I'm glad I'm clear of geopathic stress.
Yeah.
One other thing we mentioned, we're going to look at an area. You have a little intersection of some points in your home. And maybe we could look.
Yeah, we have a look how I detect geopathic stress and what the Veda energy shields are actually doing to
That's great.
prevent that.
Thank you. So, as we mentioned earlier, Frank has actually identified in his own bedroom a location of geopathic stress, and he's going to demonstrate maybe how he came across the area, and using Maybe you could explain this for the viewers.
Yeah, basically what we have here, it's a global grid network crossing point. It's also called Hartmann grid. It's the same. These energy lines are everywhere on the planet in 3-meter distance, so everybody has them in their houses. They're just natural magnetic lines, and the crossing points are harmful to sleep on. At the same time, we have a Curry grid network crossing. Both are crossing on the same point, so we have a considerable amount of negative energy on this specific spot. It's only about that big, and outside of it, it's relatively clear.
So this is an intersection point then you're talking about. So we've got a Hartmann grid here, and we've Curry lines here, and this is the actual intersection point.
That's the intersection of these Curry and Hartmann lines.
Okay. As mentioned in some of the other videos, this point of intersection, you get an increase in the actual amount of energy in that area. So whatever is there is magnified at this point. Okay.
And yeah, it's a point which is bad enough to cause problems. I mean, if I go to houses, often I find energy points that are much worse than this, but it's very good for our little test here.
And the frequency you're setting on the bioresonance device?
I set a frequency 22.5, which is cell regeneration or cancer. That seems to be with every geopathic stress point we have that frequency.
And again, just for the viewers, so the device is actually